It's looking like fall inside, and it's feeling like fall outside. It's been in the low 70s and kind of overcast in the mornings for the past few days. Now it is going to be getting up into the mid 80s next week, but we're not going to think about that right now. Hi, Bella. Morning, boys. Morning, Daisy. Morning, Bella. So I was up early this morning because I heard Bella barking a lot. And she really only barks usually when there's something to bark at, or something she should be barking at. Hi, Daisy. And so I stepped out on the deck, I turned the side light on, and there were a few coyotes across the street. And then they started making more noise than Bella. So she was doing her job. You ready to eat? Huh? You ready to eat? Okay, your guy's next. So Daisy's breeder said she could get a couple inches taller. She's the smallest one. Like she felt like she was really small. So she could grow. We'll see. She said she probably will start actually showing like she's pregnant around Christmas. So got a little wait. Oh, I forgot to cover the hay up. So this project is coming up soon to get a roof built on this hay box so that this winter with the rains, it doesn't just pour off the roof all over the hay. Right now, a tarp will do, just to keep the sun off. This sheet metal I got to put away. I had this down here to give them some morning shade when the really hot days were here. So a little update on what I've been doing the last couple days, and then showing you what I'm going to be doing and kind of what I'm thinking about, maybe get your opinion on it. First of all, I've got these 3 beds here. They're not sitting exactly how they will be, but these are going to be food beds for the tropical garden. And so basically that means dragon fruit and pineapple. I've got lots of pineapples sitting in the kitchen window, like pineapple tops getting rooted. And then out here, there is a difference. If you remember, this used to be a big bed that I just dug out a year ago and just planted this spring. Well, I'm now filling it back in. This is why I kind of work slowly on some things, because I like to live with something for a little bit. Even if it's just an outline, like you see this, you see those white chalk outline out here, outlining everything. And then I came to realize that I had to make some changes to my original design. So the original design had big tropical beds around this space with a big pond. However, seeing that we had the luau here, and knowing that we want to have other things in the future, that left no room for any kind of entertaining area like tables like we had out here just a couple weeks ago. So I changed the design a little bit. This area over here from like the stairs to the hedge is now, instead of beds, there was going to be 3 big beds here. It's going to be all stamped concrete, probably a dark color. Now this tree is going to stay. I'm going to build a high raised planter just around this tree, because I want the tree to shade this area. And then this will be, you know, seating for any get-togethers we have, or just shade to enjoy on our own. So that's over there on the left side. And then coming out from the stairs, there's going to be kind of on the edge of the concrete, there's going to be kind of a wavy boardwalk all the way over to that end. And off this patio, there's going to be a raised deck with a tropical cover. And so it's kind of like a tree house when you look at it from down below. From up here, it'll just look like a continuation of the same level, but it's going to be quite raised from, you know, where the basketball court is right now. And then where you see this white line, that is going to be the natural pool / pond area with rock work and plants and trees back behind it, waterfalls and things like that. And the boardwalk will butt up against the cement, the stamped concrete on this side, but it will kind of hang over the pond all the way along this side. So when I say pond or natural pool, it is going to be a swimming pond that is not filtered by chlorine. It's actually filtered biologically by biological filters, UV lighting, and actual plants. Lots of probably taro, Elephanere's alocasia, whatever you want to call that. And there's going to be big bands of that on both sides, and the plants themselves growing pull nitrogen out of the water, which cuts down on algae growth. And so with all of that going on, it should be very nice, clean, natural water if you want to swim. So what I'm doing is going along this white outline. And for now, because we're not quite ready to start the pool yet, I'm actually going to be cutting out everything. There's 6 to 8 inches of decomposed granite and gravel on top of the native soil, or actually it's not native. They filled this in when they put this patio here. So I'm going to be taking that whole level, the 6 to 8 inches off around where the pool is going to be, where all the planters are going to be. And then I can start moving like this ginger here that it really got beaten up by the heat. Some of it is blooming a little bit. Smells good. I did notice some white ginger down in here, but this got not only beaten up by the heat, but it doesn't get enough water in this raised bed because of the drainage. So this can all be chopped back and replanted into this new area. I'll also be able to start working on the rock work for the waterfalls and the planters. That's going to be a lot like my last house. I don't think I'm going to do it quite the same, but similar idea. But I can work on all of that without having to dig the pond yet. And so this pond can still be, just space that we can use. Probably, I don't know. I don't even know. I might start digging the pond within the next 6 months. We'll see. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. Fun to build and fun to use afterwards. Now, one thing I've been keeping you up to date on is the wall progress over here between the Mediterranean garden and the formal English garden, the future formal English garden. And so, a couple weeks ago, Joel and I started building this wall this way. And the plan was to build it over to about right here. And then there will be a path that comes down through here and into the orchard. And then that wall would pick up on this side and just continue on for the width of this English garden. The problem I'm running into is in this opening, I needed it to be, when you live on a slope like we do, you've got to figure out where are going to be stairs and where are going to be ramps. And you want ramps to be able to access all of the gardens by, if you have a wheelbarrow or something with wheels. In the future, we might have, a golf cart or something to kind of run around here when we're a little bit older. And so you want to be able to access every garden, especially right now for wheelbarrows. You can bring in compost and, all that good stuff. The problem is this whole area here in front of the house is kind of cut off from the ability to have a ramp because it's raised above every other little level here. So this wall will continue down here, and then it's going to cut across this way, and this is going to be raised up about a foot from the lower level path and everything else. And so the idea was to have this ramp down and then be able to get the wheelbarrow up into this garden through this ramp. The problem is, in order to have a ramp here, you're going to have to bring this wall back in here to hold up all that dirt as this part ramps down. And that wall would probably have to come back in here several feet, maybe 10, 15 feet. It's using a lot of wall brick, which I would have to buy more. And it's really kind of cutting off a big portion of this bed from getting in there easily and being able to walk right off of the lawn into it. Just a lot of logistics that aren't really working up here. And so what I think I'm going to do, and I literally just thought of an idea right now, but hold on. So I'm going to take this wall all the way across and not have a break with the path going into the orchard. And then at this level, you can see I have a string here for the wall level right there. So just like over there, this level that I'm standing on is going to be built up to the top of that wall. And then on the other side of that wall, we can put some stairs that go down into the orchard. And that's just going to be easier and take less material to do it that way. And then I thought, well, down at the other end, it's only going to be like 8 inches to a foot higher than down there. So I could kind of just hoist the wheelbarrow up there or make a little wooden ramp when I needed to get in here. But I just thought of something. The plan was this path that comes through the vegetable garden and then goes this way and then down the stairs. The plan was already to have stairs take this wall out and build stairs up into this area. So from a different angle, this path is about 5 feet wide. There would be a 5-foot cut in that wall with some little walls going this way, and then between those two walls, steps would go up to the level of the lawn. But I'm now thinking, instead of steps here, we could open up this wall and just have it ramp up into there. That way, I could bring a wheelbarrow down this way and then ramp up into the garden here. So see, that's why I take a long time to do things, because I got to walk through it in my mind. When we moved here, within, a couple of months, I literally had this whole place mapped out in my mind. I saw it done, but little details like that, and like the pond and the seating area over there, little things like that, they've got to change, and you got to live with something for a while. So that's why I love using hoses, extension cords, chalk lines, and just laying things out. And for me, even like a path, I will stick to that path, even though I could easily walk right across the hose or the extension cord to get maybe a shorter cut where I'm going. I try to stick with that so I can see, is this going to be easily used ongoing? Is this how I want it laid out? So yeah, that's how my mind works. So my friend Doug brought us some hay and some straw yesterday. Noah and I took half of it down to the box last night. We're going to take the other half down tonight when he gets home from school. And some sad news, we lost another chicken. Mrs. Howell, if you remember from Spiderweb. Mrs. Howell, she was the last surviving chicken from our old house. I want to say she was probably 6 or 7 years old. She hadn't laid eggs in a while, and for a while she was laying eggs and they were just not up to par. The shells were always very thin. Most of the time they would break in the egg box. So I was actually happy when she stopped laying eggs, but now she has moved on. Oh, I forgot, Emily has lots of scraps. She was cleaning out the fridge and has some scraps for the chickens, which they will love. English garden is really more weeds now than anything else. I'm trying to get in there and keep them from flowering, but I'm losing that battle. All right, so sometimes you have things that just sit in the fridge too long. I've got some squash here, I've got some potatoes, and I've got some pulled pork. It's actually the Kahlua pork from our luau. We had it in the freezer, and I pulled some out. We got so much of it left. I didn't eat quite all of it that was pulled out of the freezer, so it's the chicken's turn. Actually, I think I'm going to put it out in the run. They've been enjoying the cool weather out there, so I don't want to pull them back into the hen house when they really want to be outside. Having chickens is great, if not for the eggs and just their crazy antics. You don't feel like you're wasting, because whatever food you don't eat, garden scraps, they're going to devour it. You don't have to worry about it. And their favorite always by far is any meat that I bring out, like this pork. In fact, when you see chicken food that says vegetarian fed on it, don't get it. That is not great for your chickens. They are not vegetarians. If you are feeding them their proper diet, they are definitely omnivores. The whole, vegetarian fed is just marketing. It's just marketing because of the whole plant-based movement. They stick plant-based on anything they can now, including chicken food. And chickens aren't plant-based. And if it's vegetarian fed, it's generally going to be GMO corn, grain, all the stuff that you don't want to have in your eggs. It's the next day, and Noah and I did not get the hay put away last night because he didn't get home from football practice till 5:30. And then he had his last driver's training at 6. And he has his driver's test on Tuesday, the day after my birthday. Or is it Monday? Yeah, Monday. Monday, the day after my birthday. So pray for us all. It's a nerve-wracking time. I want to show you guys what I did yesterday. I was able to get out yesterday afternoon. It's been raining here this morning, by the way. It's sunny now. But I showed you yesterday how I cut this section out here. So yesterday I was working over here and got quite a bit cut out. Now from both sections, the one over there and the one right here, I used the gravel and decomposed granite in other places as I did when I first dug this out. Now I had to use some to fill this back in, the center bed here. And by the way, these plants they're gonna be moved once the new beds are ready. But I brought the rest up here. So I'm filling this area in. If you remember, this was just full of weeds and grass. So that's filled in. And I've just got this section left here. Joel was here helping me the first day we started digging that first area out. And so we were able to, let me see, how do I show this? We were able to get this section filled in. It needs a little bit more and it needs to be raked a little bit. So we've got it filled in there and here. I did want to remind everybody that I'm going to be doing my summit for the School of Traditional Skills, talking about my new class and my old class. So it'll be raised bed gardening and companion planting. The summit is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, this coming Monday, so in a few days. So you'll get my 1.5 to 2 hours for free, and all the other instructors that they have lined up for the summit as well. And you can pick and choose what you want to see, but it's all free. I'll leave the link down below so you can go get registered for that. I think that's it for this video, you guys. The next video you see me in, I'm going to be 50. Yay! See you then.